So, what does the housing market have in store for us in 2023? Where do we go from here? All right, so can I be honest with you? I have absolutely no idea. All joking aside, nobody has any idea of exactly where this market is going. You can read report, watch video, look at all of this different stuff, and there's a lot of wild speculation and guessing. It leaves people really, really confused on exactly what to do. So in this video, stick with me. And my goal today is not to tell you whether now is a good time to buy, whether you should definitely not buy, because everyone's situation is different. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. But what I do want to do today is provide you some perspective and to give you an idea on exactly what has been going on and provide some insights for you so that you can make the best decision for your situation in 2023. Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team here in Frisco, Texas. And again, like I said, I watched several videos over the past few days and they're contradictory. One says one thing's going to happen, another said something else is going to happen. One said home prices are going to fall X%, another said home prices are not going to fall, they're going to stay flat. Then I saw one that said mortgage rates are going to do this, and another one that said mortgage rates are going to do that. I mean, how in the world are you supposed to make a decision, or what are you supposed to do based on that information? So again, it becomes very, very difficult. But what I do want to do today is just dive into, quickly here with you on why is it that people buy and sell in the first place? By and large, it doesn't have anything to do with, okay, where are prices today? Okay, where are mortgage rates today? I'm not saying that doesn't play into it, but let's take a look at the reasons most people make a decision to buy or sell in the first place, right? Now, this is not an inclusive list by any reasons, but number one, you get married, right? You might be in your own apartment or you might have an apartment and now you're getting married and it's time to move and buy a house of your own. Number two, growing family. You could have a family that's growing. You're expecting a first child. You're having a second child. You suddenly find that you have a need for more space. Number three, schools. A lot of times I find that younger couples, they may have had preschool age children. They're getting a little bit older, and now they actually want to make a move into a preferable school district, into a school district that they actually want to be in, they want their kids to go to. That's another reason. Number four, a lot of people move to be closer to family. We've seen it a lot, especially in the COVID era, right? As we went through the pandemic, family took on a new significance. Not to say that it wasn't important before, but now all of a sudden, not having to travel 4, 5, 6, 7 hours or take a flight to get somewhere to be with family became even more important. So we've seen a lot more people moving in order to be closer to family. Number five, downsizing. It could be that at this point in time, you've just got way more house than you need, right? So at that point in time, selling and buying a smaller house just makes a whole lot of sense. You don't need all of that room, right? Maybe your kids got married, they've moved out, or they're off to school, whatever it may be. There's a reason to downsize that you have. And number six, health reasons. I've had this happen or come across this situation multiple times over the years. There may be an injury at work, or it could just be simple aging, or something else has happened. And now all of a sudden, the stairs can't be used, right? Going up and down stairs is a problem. And the need to get onto a single level property takes precedence. Now, in those particular situations, the economics of it don't apply. It's not like, okay, well, my family's growing, but when mortgage rates do this and prices do this, then I will make a move. That's not the way it usually works, right? So usually based on one of those reasons or something similar, someone makes the decision that now, based on our personal circumstances, we need to make a move. We need to buy. We need to sell. At that point in time, once you've made that decision, the goal then is to work with someone through that process in order to make the best of the current situation for you. If you're on the buy side, get with a real estate professional. If you don't have one, reach out to me and I can connect you with one. I coach and train agents across the country, and I'd be happy to do that for you. And also have a really good, solid mortgage professional, one that can go through your situation and make recommendations to you that's going to work for your situation to see what you can and can't do. Right? It's usually only the hardcore investors or the speculators that are watching all of the different nuances in the market, because the bottom line is, over time, I mean, the value of the asset's going to go up. It may fluctuate. I mean, real estate's a roller coaster. It goes up, it goes down. And it just depends when you decide to get on that roller coaster. It may be right now you're renting a place and you've got a great place that you're living. Your rent is stable. You're locked into a lease. You may be perfectly good not doing anything right now, right? You don't need to do anything at all. However, you may have a lease coming due in the next 3, 4, 5 months, and you don't know what's going to happen. And with rents as high as they are right now, you could very well find that your landlord jacks that lease up more than you expected. We've had that happen time and time again with people. So again, everyone's situation is different. So I want you to take this with you as you make your decision. So with regards to 2023, though, there are questions coming up on what's going to happen with home prices, what's going to happen with mortgage rates. And again, nobody has a crystal ball that's perfect. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. But let me just share a couple of things with you to kind of shed some light on where I think things are going. And again, take it for what it's worth. This is my opinion. I've been doing this for over 2 decades now. I've been through market cycles like this. So I'm just sharing some of those insights for you or with you. So let's look at home prices, right? There's a lot of talk right now that home prices are going to decline. It's been all over the media. And I agree, home prices are going to decline. And in fact, they have started declining in most areas. When people say, or when the media is reporting that prices are going to decline, keep in mind that what they're talking about is a percentage of decline from peak, from where the price is peaked. And if you look at the national numbers, prices peaked nationally in June of this year. So depending upon the report that you see, you may see, hey, we're expecting prices to decline 10 to 15% from their peak. I've seen others that say they may fall 20% from their peak. But again, understand that all real estate is local. And here's exactly what I mean by that. So as I mentioned, I'm in Frisco, Texas. Now here, we didn't peak in June. We peaked in April. And since April, our prices are down 16% from the peak, right in that 10 to 15, just over that 10 to 15% range. And that happened quickly. So already our prices are down 16% from peak. However, I think it's important to keep in mind that year over year, compared to September of 2021, we're still up 19.8%. So our price is down from the peak? Absolutely. No, that frenzy from the peak is behind us. Even if prices were to fall another 10 to 15%, here we're still not at a year over year decline yet. Could it happen? It could, but our market's a little bit different right now. We've still got tremendous inbound traffic here in Frisco, and the market's staying pretty strong. So again, all real estate is local. In the description below, I have a link to a market report that's for Frisco, but if you go to that market report at the top, there's a search bar. You can put in any city, any zip code in the entire country and get the latest information on your particular market of interest. Now, home prices in general as a result of supply and demand. The balance or imbalance between supply and demand is what dictates prices. Let's go back over the past couple of years. Demand was exceptionally high, partially because mortgage rates were artificially low, but demand was way high. Supply was way low. So what happened? Prices soared. That's what happened across the country. Okay, the expectation now for many people that had forecasted a crash was that we were going to get a massive imbalance between supply and demand, and the bottom would fall out from the market. I didn't believe that because the dynamics were so different than they were previously, but have been saying that I do see a correction. And the correction is what we are seeing right now. So again, how much it corrects depends a lot on where you live. Now, the expectation was that mortgage rates, which have dramatically impacted the demand side, as mortgage rates went up, buyers are no longer able to afford it, demand drops, therefore home prices are going to drop. That's what we've seen. How much will they drop? Well, it depends in your market how much supply there is. Now, it's true that nationally, we have seen an uptick in supply, right? Supply is higher. Actually, supply is still growing here in late October, which is unprecedented. That's not what usually happens. But again, all real estate's local. Here in Frisco, our supply has actually fallen for the past 2 months. So supply has been going down. Yes, but supply is still up 100% year over year. Completely true. Here in Frisco, supply is up 100% year over year, even though we've fallen for the past 2 months. But it's only up 13% compared to where we were in 2020. And it's down 51% compared to where we were in September of 2019. So again, perspective is really important here. When you hear all of these numbers, make sure that you've got a reference point for what it's being compared to. Now let's just talk quickly on mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are a big deal, and obviously 5.5% seem to be a key number, because once the mortgage rates went above 5.5%, that's when we really saw demand start to go down. Demand tanked to a certain extent after mortgage rates went above 5.5%. Now you're sitting right at around 7 or just over 7 as of the recording of this video, and it's had a huge impact. As a result, we're starting to see a lot of what are known as 2-1 buy downs and 5-year ARMs start to come into play. These are not the same type of loans that got us in trouble, 15, 16 years ago. They're different than that, but they are holding the rates lower to get into the home, if it makes sense, than they ordinarily would be. But where mortgage rates go is anyone's guess, right? The Federal Reserve artificially kept rates low through their policies. Once the quantitative easing was removed, without going into all the details, right, mortgage rates shot up. Now, over the past couple of days, I've read a couple of different reports. One is forecasting that rates will start to come back down by next spring, actually down into the 6% range. Whereas another report is talking about the fact that rates around 7% are the new normal. So get used to it. And they're saying that's not too bad, because if you look at the 51-year average of mortgage rates in this country, it's actually just a tick over 9%. So compared to that, a 7% rate is great. Compared to what we've been living with the past few years, a 7% rate is not great. Personally, I don't think 7% is our new norm. I don't think we're going to stay there. The other report I read this morning actually said they're forecasting rates to come back down to right around 5.5% by about this time next year. And Fannie Mae themselves are forecasting rates back between 4.5% and 5% by the end of 23 into the beginning of 24. That forecast changes all the time, but that's the latest one I myself saw. So again, just a little bit of perspective. You can't control rates and you can't control home prices. The market's going to dictate where those are. What you can control is the decision that you make on when is a good time for you to buy or sell a home. And that's something I can't tell you when that time frame is. Only you know what's best for you. So it's important to look at your unique situation, analyze everything that's going on in your life, in your world, and then if you do make the decision to buy or sell, what you now want to do is have a plan for how to achieve that and what's the best way to achieve that goal. And I suggest, again, as I mentioned earlier, work with a local real estate professional. And if you're on the buy side, definitely work with a knowledgeable mortgage consultant. So anyway, I hope this information helps, provides a little bit of perspective on where we are. If you have any questions whatsoever, all of my contact information is directly below, or you can give me a call at 469-296-5230, or as always, email Andrew at theandrewsmithteam.com. And if there's anything I can help you with, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm more than happy to do that.